This is the best dongle DAC I've ever heard. Hey, welcome to Thrift Shop. Today, we have the Cayin RU6. This thing is amazing. So yes, this is a dongle DAC, but we're going to talk a little more about that and using it other ways. So as many people, obviously this has been around for a while. It's the first dongle DAC, at least that I know, that is R2R technology. So resistor to resistor. I believe this is 24-bit R2R DAC with oversampling and non-oversampling. We'll talk about the sound qualities of that. Included in the box, not much. You get a nice little manual. Never be the same again, which I think is very true. Get a nice connector. You can also get the lightning connector. Anyways, yeah, so it does have 3.5 and 4.4 balanced, and it does have a nice little screen, and you can get into your menus. So you have high and low gain. Currently have it in non-oversampling. There we go. And backlight, you can set how long you want this to turn off. So 30 seconds. So, it's hard to tell if it's even on. So actually, I don't know. I didn't change it, but you might be able to just leave it on whenever you have it plugged in. But anyways, you can see I do have the volume here set up pretty high at 94. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So on the single-ended output, you're getting about 138 milliwatts. And on the balanced, it's around 230, I believe, something around there, or 220, something like that. So, I was driving the Duno Talos here, playing our IEM at around 74, 75. Running a different pair, which we'll have a review coming up soon, which is AKG N5005s. And even though they're spec'd at 16 ohm, 116 dB, well, I got to really push them on this. So I don't know if these were spec'd wrong or what. Sometimes even the specs are misleading. So, but I listened to this, and I've got the Denafrips Aries over here, pretty high end. Pro ICANN, Hi-Fi Pro ICANN headphone amplifier, a highly regarded DAC. It wasn't my personal favorite. It's a little laid back, but, it does a pretty good job with soundstage. Not the best with details, but, it does its job. That is like 760, 800, something like that. And then you got an expensive amp. Certainly you don't need that. You could have a $200 amp, so you have a $1,000 setup, or you could spend $250 and get this all in one. Yeah, it's pretty cool. $250. I actually got mine at Christmas time for around a little over $200. So there was a sale, and you can't get the leather pouch. And yeah, I didn't get it. But so where I was really wanting to try this, I was doing some comparisons. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to run this into my main stereo. And I hesitated to buy this when it came out because it didn't have line out. I think on the menu, there should be, even if they can do this firmware, hopefully they can, where the line out, it's fixed. It's not using preamps, the amplified section. That way you could run this into your main stereo. So you don't need to buy a big DAC. You can just plug this in. So what I did is I have a Musical Fidelity M3SI integrated amplifier, and it has the home theater bypass. So this was preamped into the home theater bypass. So my amp was acting as a power amp. So you can do this with any power amp, or if your integrated amplifier has a home theater bypass, put it in that mode, and this is driving it. You're not using the preamp section of your actual amplifier, and just use this, and it works beautifully. I actually like it better than the Denafrips Aries. You're getting more detail than the Denafrips. Denafrips seems laid back. It's not aggressive on treble, and I just find that this is much more enjoyable. So I don't care if you're listening to headphones, earphones, or you want to plug this into your stereo system. You can make them all work. And I've had a blast with this thing. I wanted to get this review out. I was so excited. But really what I wanted to do, the reason I was saying is, I wanted to run a Raspberry Pi, run this off the Raspberry Pi and into my stereo, and it worked. And it worked great. That couldn't be, the cheapest and almost highest end sounding streamer combo. I mean, really, $200, and then whatever you get for, Raspberry Pis are not that cheap right now. But, if you're like me and you have 3 or 4 of them sitting around, what a great option. So I got to say that this thing just sounds amazing. What I find is that, first we'll talk about the oversampling. And I see this, it seems like every manufacturer is a little bit different on how their products sound. To me, the sound stage, I'm going to put this down. When you're in oversampling and you have earphones or headphones on, it's like the singer, if it's recorded, good. Not everything is recorded the same. So, so I'll talk about MTV's Korn Unplugged. I really enjoy the music, and I love how it was recorded and all the instruments that Korn uses. So in this case, the drums are right dab center in the middle of your head. And certainly this depends what kind of earphone you're using, all these kind of things. But with oversampling, it's right there. And then the guitars go out to your ear width, and then certain cymbals and things can be a little bit wider. So it's not like a wall of sound from a chip-based stack. You're getting, but everything's in its proper place. It's the best way of putting it with oversampling. When you put it into non-oversampling, things randomize all over, and things can actually sound wider, and it seems like the time domain is actually better, therefore increasing your sound stage. That's what I get with this, and I absolutely think it's absolutely astounding for what it does. I was listening to Korn, and just how the instruments, and there's textures and everything, all these layers, and I'm blown away. I thought you had to pay, Denafrip Aries, maybe Denafrip, Pontus, Venus, that kind of level to get this. I'm amazed that you have an R2R DAC in here. You don't have to keep it plugged in. You don't have to keep it warm. I did that. I tried plugging it in for several days, come back, and here's it better. Was it better? I don't know. It sounded fine. So I'm envisioning that they don't have, high-end temperature controlled or oven controlled clocks in here. They're just good clocks, and they work. So I'm amazed at what they can do. Now, what can they do better, right? It wouldn't be worthwhile if we didn't say, hey, is this the best product, or it's the first product, right? So it works, it's good. I would like them to see this made a little bit bigger, a little bit more powerful, line out, and I think it's great. I think it'd be perfect. Put better clocks in it, and you'll be amazed at how good this is. Cannot recommend this enough. I don't like to say that. I don't like to recommend products. I like to tell you how they sound. And for me, this is all a person should ever need. So save yourself a lot of money. Go get this, try it. And yeah, maybe, dabble with what R2R sounds like. So hey, I hope you enjoyed this. Please, like, subscribe, do all the things. Help this channel out. I'm trying to grow. So with you, I can, and I appreciate it. Take care. Bye.